Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the CFL Weekly Show. It is myself, Shane, alongside Cole and Blake. Coach Phil should be joining us in a matter of moments. He's just running a little bit behind. How are you guys doing? How did you guys enjoy last week? How was your Thanksgiving? It was Thanksgiving up here in Canada. How was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, Cole, do you want to go first or do you want me to go?
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, no, Thanksgiving was good. As I have a bit of a voice crack there. But Thanksgiving was good. We did our dinner on Sunday night. We do my family prefers to do it on Sunday night. Like my mom does a lot of the cooking and she doesn't like to it's more so like the cleanup aspect. She doesn't like to clean on Monday before she goes back to work on Tuesday. So we do our dinner on Sunday night. We had some family friends come over, so there was, I think, 9 of us in total. Ate a lot of turkey. It was good, and then I surprised. I know you saw that, Cole, but I surprised my dad on Monday afternoon. We were both off, and I was like, "Hey, you want to go to the Canucks game?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Is it tonight?" I'm like, "No, it's in 2 hours. I already bought us tickets." So we went to the game. It was. Bit of a rough start for mine and Cole's Canucks. Not a great game. Uh, 5-2 final, although Kiefer Sherwood scored a sick goal, shorthanded as well. So that was good. But yeah, Thanksgiving overall was good. Caught a bit of that Montreal Ottawa game. I know we're going to talk about that. And then I listened to the other 3 games on the radio. Saskatchewan just barely clinched first. I know, again, we're going to talk about that. Edmonton kept their hopes alive for a few more days, and then the last game of the week, probably the surprise of the week for a lot of people, Calgary kind of smacked around Hamilton. So
Yeah, I had a great Thanksgiving myself. I actually had an early Thanksgiving, both dinners. I had them on Friday and Saturday night, so I kind of freed up Sunday and Monday for myself. But it was really fun. The lone CFL game I actually watched last week was the Riders. Was it Riders Argos, I believe, on Friday
yeah,
night?
Riders Argos,
For
yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner at my father-in-law's house. My mother-in-law, I don't know if even Blake knows this. My mother-in-law is from Saskatchewan, so she's like kind of like a somewhat of a Riders fan. She likes to proclaim, and we kind of watched the game together, which was a first and kind of fun. So I really enjoyed that. And then obviously Saturday I was locked into the semifinal games in the BCFC, so that was a lot of fun to tune into both of those. Obviously, would love to see my Raiders pull off an upset, but kind of to be expected. The Okanagan Sun are the Okanagan Sun for a reason. And then Sunday was really nice because, obviously, as you guys said, my Buffalo Bills, what the heck's going on with them? They did not play on Sunday. So it was a nice stress-free Sunday where I got to just watch the fantasy team do work. Hopefully hit on a few bets,
Bit
which
of
I
red
did
zone.
not. Yeah, I had Red Zone on, of course. And then Canucks played Saturday, so they did not play Sunday. They played Monday, as you just mentioned, Blake. Monday just got to hang around. I actually did catch the game Monday morning, actually, too, the Montreal game, which was nice to wake up on the holiday Monday. I like to tell Carly I got paid to watch football basically that day, and then of course a few hours later, my Bills disappointed in a big way. But it was nice because I was able to kind of get over it with some nice Thanksgiving leftovers, which kind of helped soothe the pain a little bit and then get back into the flow, man. I can't believe we're in week 20. When I was looking at it already, I was like, holy smokes! Like, there's only a few more weeks, and then it's the off season.
Yeah,
Yeah, a few more
it's
weeks, and then
crazy.
it's free agency and draft prep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
holy smokes, man.
I saw your tweet there earlier, Shane. But how was your Thanksgiving? What'd
It
you and
was
the family
busy.
get up to?
The little one turned 5 over the weekend, so very busy weekend. Had
So
a
is she in kindergarten this year?
Yeah, senior. She started last year. She loves
Yeah.
it. It's fantastic. But yeah, she turned 5 over the weekend, so we had a dinner on Saturday, a lunch on Sunday, and then we went to the Sens game on Monday.
Very
So
Cool.
nice.
very busy weekend. Um, Had to kind of watch the games in recap mode, given how busy we were. But no, overall it was a great weekend. Thanksgiving is always a fun time, being able to see family and have some good food. You know, pumpkin pie is always the best. Um,
So good.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, week 20, plenty crazy how the season's gone by. Bringing Coach Phil. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Good, good.
What did you get up to this weekend? I know the states don't, probably didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but what did you do this weekend? How's your team doing?
We lost on Friday, so now we're do or die right now. We have to win Friday to stay alive for a playoff spot. Our quarterback got hurt
Ooh.
during warmups. He
Oh,
Yo,
messed.
Anthony Richardson? Did he get a
Yeah, so
freaking ban for the guy?
bro. All he did was roll out, and then all of a sudden he told me I felt something pop, and he got
that's not good.
and so now he's rehabbing to play. He tore his ACL last season. I think it was last season or the season before. So we were strapped, and it was a homecoming game against our opponent we were playing. So it was sold out, and their theme was Arkham, like Batman. So we were the Arkham. On our side it was Arkham Asylum, and on their side it was GCPD, and the racial undertones, and then the N word was flying everywhere. It was hilarious. It was
It's wild.
oh yeah.
Co-
But other than that,
Crazy.
Coach, remind me again. When's Thanksgiving? When's Thanksgiving down there?
November
After Grey Cup, it's the
after
November
end of
20th.
November.
after Grey Cup.
Or November
Yeah.
November 27th.
Yeah.
It's the day before Black Friday up here. Just look up when Black Friday is. There's your
That's
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving for us. How ironic.
I always know it's in November because like there's always like the big Thursday 3 games in the NFL. But I always
That's your thing. That go on the NFL schedule, find your 3 Thursday games. Those are your Thanksgiving.
that too.
When the
Anybody
Grey
got-
Cup was like later, like they moved it, which like I'll admit is better. But when the Grey Cup was a week later and Thanksgiving up in the States was a week sooner, on the Thursday of Grey Cup week, we'd have TVs set up like just like around the festival. Like no one's really watching them, but like around the festival, they'd be
Background noise,
playing the
yeah.
NFL games. But
Yeah.
Anybody
Cool.
got the score of the Mariners to Blue Jays game?
5-2.
yeah, it's 5-2 top 4.
Yeah. Coach is Coach, are you Mariners fan or just for the?
Mariners fan. I've been suffering since I was a kid, and this shit scares me because when they go up, we had this same shit happen in 2023 against Houston, and we let
Oh,
a
yeah.
motherfucker named Jordan Alvarez beat us every single fucking game. So I'm not
18
sold that
innings.
Yeah. So who's up right now?
The Jays.
5-2.
Fuck! I told you.
Yeah. 5 third inning.
Fourth now. But
Oh yeah. But no, it was a 5-run. It was the five runs of the top of the
5
third.
runs in the third inning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
But,
Oh my god.
so,
But yeah, kind
but
of.
should we let Shane recap U Sports because we got a lot to dive into with
Grey Cup real quick.
CJFL. But
If you guys heard about the situation going on,
do you
for
want me
Grey
to go
Cup,
through that first
I
before we
feel
do
like
recaps?
that's pretty important right now because I feel like the Bombers have really dropped the ball on Grey Cup this year. Like
they did.
really put one.
Oh, the Jays Springer just hit a home run, so now it's 6-2. But
I feel like the Bombers really have dropped the ball on this entire Grey Cup, and they shouldn't get one for a while. They just
So
just stay away from Winnipeg.
Where do you want me to start, Shane? Like
go wherever your heart tells you, because I have a couple of thoughts on it.
I want to hear your thoughts, but so like first things first, today is October the 15th. So tomorrow is exactly 1 month to the Grey Cup, correct? November the 16th?
Yeah.
We do not know who the halftime performer is yet. And this was not like this happened in 2023 in Regina, where it wasn't announced until like 2 weeks before the game. But the reason that happened is because it eventually got leaked that they wanted a country band by the name of Florida Georgia Line that had supposedly almost like signed all the T's or dotted all the I's, like been almost paid. And then they backed out at the last minute. So the Grey Cup Society had to scramble and collect an act, which ended up being like 2 members of Florida Georgia Line and a couple of other random country singers. So that's the starting point of kind of what's gone wrong. But the one that has a lot of people upset right now, and all four of us were at Grey Cup last year, so we can all attest to this as well, is that the party rooms were supposedly sold out. Like the 3 day passes that I know, Coach, you had some credentials and stuff like that, but Shane, Cole, and myself, we all bought the 3 day passes for like $100 or whatever it was last year. It got you into every single room, team room that is, and some other stuff, whatever. So and last year they had an option of single night passes as well, where on the Thursday night it was like $30, the Friday night it was like 50, the Saturday was like 70 or whatever it was. This year, hardly anyone knew, especially Grey Cup regulars like myself. A lot of my friends, I know Shane has been seeing it as well on his timeline. Like I would say 95% of Grey Cup regulars did not know that the 3 day pass had gone on sale yet. Like, period. And we're 5 weeks away from the game, and then I guess somehow word got out from a select few people that had gotten emails saying to buy your pass, whatever that had, that, hey, these passes are running out. You should try and get them. And when people went to go buy them this past weekend, they were all sold out. And they were basically told, which isn't necessarily a problem. Where the problem lies is that when people talk to the Bombers office or talk to the Grey Cup Festival in general, they were told that if you don't have these 3 day passes, you're not getting in. There's
What?
no, there's no availability for the single day passes. There's no option to buy them at the door. If you didn't buy the 3 day pass and supposedly they've been on sale for 5 months, you're out of luck. So there was a lot of people. Like, my timeline was filled yesterday. I'm in a different group chat with a bunch of people from, of course, across the country. There's like 15 of us in that group chat. 13 of us didn't get passes. Shane's timeline was filled as well. So there was lots of people that went to the Bombers office, of course, very upset. To the Grey Cup Festival itself, very upset, saying that, and rightfully so, people that have been going to like 30 Grey Cups in a row, like Shane's father in law, he can probably speak to this. How many Grey Cups in a row he's been to, that they were going to cancel their trip because you guys saw last year, like Grey Cup, the game is awesome, but honestly, for me, like the game is almost the worst part because once the game's over, you go back to your hotel or your Airbnb or whatever, and that's it. Like, you wake up the next morning, you all go back to your airports and you go to your different cities. You don't see each other for like 4 months. I mean, with us, it's obviously different. We still have a couple weekly shows, free agents, but people that you see throughout the season, you don't see for 6 months. So being not able to get these party passes, as Shane said, blew up in the Bombers' face. I will give them credit. They did backtrack a bit today. I was able to get party passes. I know many people were able to get party passes as well. They are a limited number on sale for now. But
You're sold
if
out.
you are
I just
listening to this
checked.
and you haven't bought your party pass yet, do it, because I talked to the BC Lions as well. Part of the problem in this in lied in capacity numbers, like the rooms they have for this year are significantly smaller than what they had last year. So they were kind of capping it based on capacity. But the other thing that I'm not mentioning here before I let Shane hop in is that they also added a concert series this year, and they included that concert series with the party passes. And a lot of people that want to go to the team parties were not going to go to the concerts, and vice versa. People that want to go to the concerts weren't going to go to the party rooms. So that's why they were saying it's sold out. As I mentioned, I did talk to the Lions yesterday. Cole, I don't know if you've heard First and Now from this week. I went to the live taping, but I did talk to them. They said at that moment there was nothing they could do but kind of keep them informed. As I said today, the Bombers have kind of backtracked and somewhat righted their wrongs. But yeah, the last few days have been, and especially with the rule changes and a lot of CFL loyalists not already happy with the rule changes. Like this was an egg that the CFL just simply could not afford to have on their face.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't understand how you have like a set amount of tickets, and I'm pretty sure we bought the tickets back in I knew the 3-day pass went on sale in I think May or in April or June. I didn't realize it was going to be the only pass that they were selling. There's a couple people within the concert, that concert lineup that we were wanting to see, so I'm pretty sure we bought the tickets for it. But I didn't realize that the social passes were also part of were only in it, and I think that's huge. Also, I don't think there was any anything on their social media about, hey, these are on sale.
No,
Buy them, they're
sorry, Shane,
limited
to
time.
cut you off, but I went back in my emails, and I will admit, I guess this is my fault, but I got an email July 21st saying they're gonna you need to get these as a season ticket holder. They're gonna be released to the public on Thursday, July, 2 days after that email was sent, and I got nothing else after that. And as you said, there was nothing on their socials or anything.
Yeah. So they have a 3-day pass, but there's no indication. I'm going back, this was July 24th. The Ultimate Grey Cup party's here. Not once does it mention it being just or including the team pass.
Yeah.
All it says is the Ultimate Grey Cup party's here. Snag your team social pass and get into the heart of the action at Coors Light Concert Series. That does not indicate anything about it being hey, this is exclusive to this concert. They're connected. This is it. Nothing about it being a limited run at all. All it says is capacity limits apply. But is that for the concerts? There was no information. There
Well,
was
they say that every year though, Shane. Capacity limits apply.
Exactly.
The problem is you can't really cap the number of tickets sold because not the number of tickets that you sell are not going to be that number in each room. People, you guys all saw last year, people move from room to room.
They be floating around.
Oh yeah, we went into every room. We spent, I don't know, I think Saturday night we spent 3 hours.
Yep.
3-4 hours. I think we got there kind of around 5, 6 o'clock, and we didn't leave until midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Because we went into every room. We stopped in every room. We hung out in every room for a little bit. I will say last year's rooms were kind of disappointing. I think the Lions were the only ones that had players involved.
They were too big last year. I will admit that.
Yeah, the rooms were huge, but also there was no actual team involvement. I'm also really annoyed with the East. The East rooms, it's Montreal, Toronto, Hamilton, and Ottawa all squished
in one
together.
room. Yeah,
It's stupid. But then all 5 West teams get their own room. To be fair, Hamilton was awful. You guys weren't there for Hamilton. The team
I was, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you would have seen how bad the East was in Hamilton. But I don't know. I feel like if you're trying to say you're a pro league, your halftime show should be out now. It should have been out in fucking July. There's no
Which
reason
is when the Lions announced. Last year, the Lions announced it before the season officially started, I believe.
Yep.
I thought it was shortly after. I thought it was because they did their concert, their kickoff concert.
Yeah,
and
it was shortly after concert kickoff.
It was very early in the year, though. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you already have the NFL. They already announced their halftime show.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
I feel well, that's a different conversation. Um,
Anyways, yeah, I agree, Shane.
but you
I
just
think it's
I don't
just
know. You keep shooting
I don't
yourself in
I
the
think I
foot.
me and Coach can maybe have a different perspective because we're obviously I believe Coach you're not going this year. Neither am I. Where Blake and Shane obviously are. We're just like where Shane was kind of I feel like going there is I feel like it just lacks like a lot of professionalism and like
Mhm.
regardless of like the runway to like put it out there early or even say in the summertime, like being a month away is just like such a drop of the ball. And it's not even only that, it's now this stuff like situations like this where like fans are wanting to spend money to like go to these festivities and buy a t-shirt, buy a pin, like whatever it may be, to spread the CFL other places. And it's like they're like, nah, it's kind of like, nah, they're good. Now they're getting a little bit of flack. And I saw it today. Like I think they're putting out some more, I believe, or whatever, a limited quantity. But it's like
And
that's
then
basically because they got flack. It's for no other reason because
and
they've
here's
already obviously done it. So it's kind of just frustrating situation, especially like when you're a defender of it. All four of us do a weekly show where we're like we want to grow the game, grow it to other fans other than just like our CFL like friends and stuff like that. We're like last year, as I mentioned, I took like a group of like six of us that all went that aren't CFL fans that kind of like I'm trying to slowly like brainwash them, but then like you get shit like this and like throughout the season there's little shit that it's like it's undefendable. Like they
Yep.
ask why, and it's like I can't give you a reason why. It's just unfortunately that is the CFL. It's the CFL way, unfortunately, and hopefully over time, maybe new commissioner, things will change and get better and evolve. That's the only thing you can kind of hope for. You can, as CFL diehards, right? Like we're not going to give up on the league. We're not going to go anywhere, right? So it's kind of at a point where like you kind of just have to have blind faith a little bit and like hopefully that it'll change going forward. But do I have confidence? I really don't. So it's another unfortunate situation. But I believe I heard it last year like a few times. Just come out west every other year if you guys want. We can host Grey Cup.
you see,
I would much appreciate that. It'd be much easier on Blake and myself. Even Coach not having to travel too far. I know Shane, it's across the country for Shane, but um yeah, that's just my 2 cents personally, and I think it's totally unprofessional to be this late in the game and to not have anything announced already, and just with the other stuff already as well.
my issue is that like there's no single day passes being available. Like if you were just to come out and be like,
Well,
hey, the
so,
3 day passes with the concert is going to be a limited run because we're considering the concerts. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. But for them to just be like, oh yeah, this is it. We're not. There's going to be no single day passes. You won't be able to buy a 3 day pass on Thursday. Um, when you're here, like your SOL and that grade, it's either this or nothing. That is my biggest problem.
yeah, so just to clarify that a bit, Shane, as well as and as Cole said, because they got flack, as well as releasing a limited number of 3 day passes, they have also stated that there will now be single day passes available on site for, I believe it's 57 plus tax or whatever,
Yeah.
for each night. But again, as Cole said, the only reason they did that is because they got so much flack.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And if that was the plan all along, you should have just come out and said like, hey, single day passes are going to be available because there are people that it may be only flying in,
And
Friday night, and then they don't want to
example.
go to the activity Friday. They'll go Saturday, and then they'll go. Like we're
So
flying
so
in
so
Thursday night.
so can I give a different perspective?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
for it.
So like what Shane was about to say, like me and the boy got in on Friday night for last year's Grey Cup. I didn't get to, and because I had him, I didn't get to venture out until like like late. And when I did get to venture out Saturday night, um, the parties just looked dead. It just looked like there was nothing, and maybe because I got there late, but people were still there. But it just didn't look like it lived up to the expectations of what they had wanted. BC's was popping. I'll give it to them. BC's was popping. Everybody else is kind of like it was him and Haw. We're kind of here. We're kind of not there. So if you're going to make the Grey Cup Canada's Super Bowl, there's no way you would never hear the NFL just do shit like this. Not trying to
No,
compare the
exactly.
two. They do they're a business. They know they're a business. I don't think the CFL knows that they're a business.
No, the CFL for the longest time was run by people who just wanted the stature of owning a pro sports team. They didn't
Right.
actually care about owning a pro sports team. It's
Mhm.
why the Rough Riders failed. It's also why the Renegades failed, because they were owned by guys who didn't actually care about the team. They just cared about the statue that owning a pro franchise comes with.
Them goddamn
Uh,
Gleadermans.
And for another example, as I mentioned, for like the people wanting to spend money, as Coach just said, right? He came in Friday. The group of people that I went to the game with, they came in on Saturday, so they also bought single night passes, whatever you want to call it, for the team parties last year. They came in for maybe a total of like 45 minutes. We went down the elevator to all the team parties downstairs, which was I think BC, Edmonton, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I think that was it. We came up the elevator. I asked them if they wanted to go upstairs. They said no. We went to the merch stuff. They all bought merch, and then they left, never came back. They spent probably $200, $300 each. And it's like they're essentially turned that away until they got shit on for it. Of not like the single game pass or the single day passes not being available is also ridiculous. So like that's a super cheap way for people to and even if they want to just come in for like a night, maybe people can't afford it. Say if they're in town for the Thursday and Friday and they can't maybe afford it to go all 3 days, but maybe they want to go on a Friday or a Saturday or whatever, and they their buddies from Montreal are in that night and they want to go. So it's like it's kind of shitty that it takes like them having to get like a bad review, I guess, in a sense, to make those things available.
I think for me, like my experience from Grey Cup last year was so different because I had Jeremiah with me. I spent a lot of time in the kids area, and then when I did get, and we were at the stadium because that's where me and Cole ran into each other. Was at the remember we were at the stadium, so it's like I didn't get to really venture out and kick it with y'all and do all the other fun stuff because I was working. But I feel for y'all because y'all are shelling out all this money, and it's just a letdown. It's sad.
yeah, I will say, like, the team parties last year were not they weren't great. Like, Edmonton's wasn't that much fun. I think Calgary upstairs had the best one. Winnipeg was okay. Montreal was fine because Montreal was the only East team that had their own
Yeah, they
party.
had
That's
that
only
like ballroom setup or whatever.
Yeah, like the only good part, and I don't even want to say it's like a good part, but the only actual like fun part about the team party, in my experience, like from the last 2 years, have been the the teams, cheerleaders and dance teams just going around and doing like different routines. Like that's the only
Yeah.
type of like atmosphere and amusement that you get from those parties. Like none of the teams, like BC, I think is the only, and I mean maybe it's because it was in Vancouver, they were but even in Hamilton, they were fine. But like, the fact that and Hamilton had a room in Hamilton, but it just wasn't like teams don't put any effort into it. Like there's no reason to go more than one night unless you're meeting up with different people. And if you're in the city, like if you live in the city, it might be worth going every night. But like you're there for an hour because you go to every single room. Some have merch, some don't, but they're all the same experience. They're all the same atmosphere. They're just people sitting around talking, listening to music, and having a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is no other, like there's nothing else. There's no games. There's no, there's nothing
Yeah,
on,
and for
nothing else.
someone like you, Shane, that doesn't drink, like that dampers your experience as well because like it's no secret that like a lot of people go to Grey Cup to socialize and drink and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but yourself, you don't drink. So like there's no draw for you.
Yeah, and because
And
like
Shane's not
Ottawa doesn't
alone.
have a
Shane's not alone either. There's a lot of people that don't drink as well.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And like there's no Ottawa team room, right?
Really?
No, the last couple of years, it's literally
They,
been
they, they don't
like in
deserve it after this.
Hamilton had their own room, and it was Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, and there was nothing there. There was like cornhole. That was the only. There was Toronto
What?
cornhole, And that was the only thing set up in Hamilton for the 3 Eastern teams. And then we were told they were only showing up Saturday night.
Oh yeah,
They
forgot about
only
that
showed
too.
up Saturday night. There was nothing there Thursday or Friday. And then in Vancouver, they had Hamilton, Toronto, and Ottawa had this little area. Montreal was on the complete other side of the building. And you had to go through, I think it was Calgary, Winnipeg, and the Atlantic Schooners
Yeah.
to get
I remember that.
into to get to Montreal. Like the best part of the entire weekend for the team passes, in my opinion, because we spent a lot of time there Saturday, was literally going to the Calgary room and watching U Sports because they had the U Sports championship games up on the TV.
The semifinal, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That was the best part of the team rooms, because again, it's just a bunch of people sitting around, so it's no different than going to a bar.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Like-
about U Sports.
But yeah, let's for you, man. U Sports this weekend was not pretty. Canada West completely off this week.
Yeah,
or
we
this
have
past
bye.
weekend for Thanksgiving.
I always forget about that. That throws me off.
Yeah.
Do they
not
do
a
that
close
every
game.
year, Cole? Like
They've done
I
that.
follow
They do.
U Sports, but I
Yeah.
don't pay enough attention.
They do. It's basically because again they're traveling so much. Like there's no real reason to just
I
let them
guess.
go. And I think it's because most of them also fall into their reading week. That's probably why.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, Waterloo goes to McMaster and gets thumped 47-14 by the Marauders. Laurier defends home field against the Carleton, beating them 55-12. Western storms into York, beats them 65-28. And this is Friday night. So those are the 3 OUA games, the 2 RSAQ games. The Montreal Caravan beat up on the Sherbrooke 43-2. And then Laval beats up McGill 43-21. And Saturday, Mount Allison holds on and gets their first win of the season against the St. FX X-Men, beating them 24-20, and St. Mary's pumps Bishops 50-7. I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to rant real quick. Bishops should not be playing in the RSCQ. Or playing in AUS. It makes absolutely no sense.
They should be in the RACQ.
Like they are 2 hours away from Montreal. They're 2.5 hours away from Laval. They are so far away from any AUS team. They should not be playing in the AUS. And then Windsor holds on and beats Ottawa 30-24. So those are the scores for last week's U Sports games. I believe
Laurier Western this week, right? Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, Laurier Western is, I believe, the Saturday afternoon. It's the 1:00 game at Western.
10 a.m., yeah.
This is the battle.
U Sports need to do radio broadcasts, but
Yeah, they got the score here. I wish the score was still around.
OUA should not be charging people to watch the shit that they have been.
Dude, that's crazy. Some of that stuff I've seen on 55-yard podcast or whatever is.
Did you see what happened in the Western York game?
No.
The camera angle?
Literally, they kept the fucking camera panned to the right side of the field when everything was going on the left side of the field.
And the announcers are like talking over it too. That's what makes it worse. It'd be like one thing if it was silent. The announcers are dead ass like calling the game, like the camera's on the play, and
you're telling me you're gonna.
Well, they have a job to do, but yeah.
I hear you.
It would have been fun because you could have just if they weren't talking, you could have literally just passed it off as a glitch, like there was a system issue. But for them to be talking, like I'm paying, like you're paying almost like $300 or $200
like,
for this garbage.
Your broadcasts are like local or like regional. Do you have somebody in your ear ever, Blake, or no?
When I'm at work.
No, like when you call hockey games, like when you do the play-by-play.
No, I don't.
No, so yeah, like doing the Raiders games this year, which I would imagine, same thing for OUA. I have a producer in my ear that's like telling me what shot we're going to, or like because we also have a monitor too, right?
I've worked with that before. I just like don't do it on a regular basis.
No, for sure. But I'm talking about like for them, which is it's a paid service. They
Yeah, you
most
would think.
definitely have somebody that's in their ear saying like, "Hey, we're on this camera," or "Hey, we're don't talk for a second. We're in a little bit of a communication issue." Because we've had that as well in the air where me and Noah came back from halftime and we start talking, and then he's like, "Hey, stop, stop, stop! Like we're not. We had a little bit of an error." So it's like there's a whole like huge issue going up the chain here at OUA TV
Yeah.
where it was fantastic as a free service. It was A1 best. It was arguably better. I
People
shouldn't say that
people
because Canada West.
expected it to have problems. They expected there to be like it wasn't going to be top notch. It wasn't going to be 4K and the best cameras and like all this. There was like an expectation with it being on a free service. The
Canada
minute
West,
you go to paid, the expectations rise so high that if you do not meet them, you are going to fail across the board.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Canada West, Blake, I'm sure you can speak to this a little bit watching, but Canada West has great production quality.
They do.
Where when I was tuning into Western games back when a good buddy of mine went there from 2015 to 2019, they had great like every game, and maybe that's because it's Western, they're the best team in the conference. They had great production of like replays being in the right camera, being in like the right frames, all that sort of stuff. No issues whatsoever when it was back then. Obviously, there's been a few years in between that, but it's crazy that now it's kind of like now their production, and I'm not sure if this is like a if it's happening in all stadiums or if it's just like one or two teams. That's kind of like maybe it's the production team from that university or whatever it may be, or but it's definitely it's crazy that some of the clips that are coming out because even on Twitter, like some of the OUA fans on Twitter are sharing. It's like, man, this is tough.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not great. If you're an OUA fan, like personally, I've been pissed. I'm like, I loved Saturday when I'm off, throw it on my laptop. I can watch it on my computer while I'm doing other things. I can pay attention, and now it's absolute garbage.
Yeah, it's not good.
But we'll jump in before we start talking about CFL. I know Coach is chomping at the bit. Quick CJFL update. The playoffs started last week for the OFC and the BCFC.
Yeah, we
in
got to
the
talk about the
OFC
OFC, but
in the OFC, there was a problem, some
We can talk about
drama,
the PFC too.
some drama
Yeah.
in the OFC this weekend
630 rushing yards. But
where the officials in the London Hamilton game made a a bit of a little bit of a boo boo here
not just an a season-ending
of a
And not a-
game
not-
changing play,
not a
like
bit.
game changing penalty. But the Sault Ste. Marie Cougars actually had a close game, losing by 12 to the St. Clair Saints. That was a lot closer than I was expecting with the Cougars. But St. Clair moves on, and they will face the Hamilton Hurricanes, who beat the London Beefeaters 24-23. And if you're unaware of what happened,
in overtime,
they won in overtime on a Rouge, the lovely Rouge that we all so much love the way it is, and we're not at all we're all upset about it changing. It was the end of the game. Hamilton was lining up for a game tying field goal. They missed that game tying field goal. But London, they pulled a Saskatchewan, or so we thought. Too many men on the field, re-kick for Hamilton.
10 yards
Hamilton
up.
hits it, sends the game to overtime, and then they win on a Rouge. London, the OFC were to come out and be like, hey, we messed up. The officials messed up. That too many men penalty should not have been called. The game should have ended on that missed field goal attempt, and London should have won. So not everyone's happy. Some people think the game that game should have ended at 23-20. Some people are saying, allowing Hamilton to win is like cool. You acknowledge the mistake, but you're still giving Hamilton the win. So what good does it do? So yeah, now you're going to have Hamilton going to Windsor to face off St. Clair for a chance to play in the Canadian Bowl semifinal.
I always think it's so worse. Like it reminds me kind of like the Nickel Roby Coleman, like the pass interference when the Saints guy blew up the receiver. The NFL comes out on Monday and is like, we completely fucked up. Like it's our bad, but we're not playing the game over again. Whereas like obviously you can't as a league, like you can't just act like it didn't happen. You have to release a statement and kind of, acknowledge that it happened. But it would be much better if, like, in your minds, you never had the acknowledgement of, like, the conference. Imagine some of these kids never will play football again. That's what I thought right away. Fifth-year kids that'll never fucking play football again, never put on a helmet again, which makes me furious,
After
are going to
losing the
end
main
their
player last
careers
year.
and know that they should have moved on and that the conference acknowledged that. How fucking shitty would that be? As Monday morning when you open up your your Instagram, which is what happened to me, or maybe it was Tuesday, whenever the statement came out, and I see OFC's posted something, and it's like, after whatever our review or whatever, we acknowledge that we messed up, and it's like, fuck, man, like, at least if you never heard that or if the post never happened, it's like, and maybe it's worse because there's always that wonder of why, or maybe that if like, we should have. But now this way, it's like that makes it so much worse because I believe when I'm talking about the Saints situation, Saints fans were like demanding that the NFL reschedule the game and play it again. And the NFL releases that statement of like, hey, we messed up, but we're not playing the game again. That's essentially what they did to like London of like, hey, we messed up, but your season's done. You guys are not playing anymore. We're moving them on. And it's like, that is incredible, man. Especially because how do you mess that up? Like,
Gotta send someone back to
Like,
kindergarten. Gotta
well,
learn,
that
teach them how
that
to
was gonna
camp.
be my point as well. Is like we've all of course, coaches right now, as do I. Like Cole, you played football. Like Shane played. Coach played when he was younger as well. Like we all know, there's like 8 officials on the field. When you're lining up for a field goal, there's 2 at the goalposts, whether it goes in, and then there's 2 back judges. That literal job is to
Is to
count how
camp.
many players are on the field. So how does not one? Because not only did one throw the flag, both of them threw the flag. So how do you both miscount?
and you would think too, you get to that 10, 11, 12, 13, you'd think you'd go 1, 2, 3, count them, recount them again. And if they if they both like double and triple check themselves and they still fucked up, that's some serious like dirty inside job type
Well,
shit.
what's funny though is that like this was the London like it was the London official. Like these were the under like the London official like
Yeah,
association.
which is
So
crazy
like
because like that off natural instinct, that would have to be, as a referee, I would never throw my flag on first count. I don't know if that's
no,
me being like
you're not supposed
me
to. You're supposed
me
to recount
like
it.
not knowing what I don't know as a referee. But I would imagine having a little bit of experience playing football, you would go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You'd take a second and you'd recount to double
Mhm.
check before throwing a flag. You would never just get to 13 and then throw a flag. I would almost guarantee that. Like, and the fact that, like, as you said, there's a London football Instagram account that made like a little kind of like a montage or whatever, and you can see both referees throw their flags, which is like, man, they fucked. Like, that is like an
Yeah,
inexcusable, like, how? And it's like referees are already like in demand. How you fire them and then you're down 2 officials? Like, that's not reasonable, I would think, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know what you do, but obviously the CFL had to put out something and kind of, somewhat try to make up for their mistakes.
Apologize.
Yeah, but they did not do that by releasing that statement.
But
yes.
anyways, yeah, in
Going
the
into the PFC, it was not a close game for the VI Raiders, losing 43-12 to the Okanagan Sun. And then Prince George did put up a little bit of a fight, losing to West Shore 45-28. So we will see a rematch of last year's
Fourth
BCFC
year,
final,
fourth year
fourth
in a
year in a
row.
row, between West Shore and Okanagan. The winner will then face off against either St. Clair or London for a chance or versus Hamilton, my bad. St. Clair versus Hamilton for
Talk
a
about
chance
London when they're
to,
down.
to
Yeah,
go to the
London
Canadian Bowl.
playing next week, eh?
Um,
we're
but
moving
yes,
them on to the championship.
PFC. Not a close weekend at all for the PFC. The Regina Thunder beat up and secure number 1 in the PFC, with a 56-3 win over the Edmonton Wildcats.
And
And coach,
they
that's
had
what we were talking about.
yeah
They had
they
630
634
yards
yeah
rushing.
rushing. The entire
What?
offensive line got offensive player
As
of the week.
coach, as a team, they rushed for 630 yards.
That's
And
ungodly.
it was coach, they also not only that, they threw an offensive lineman a goddamn touchdown. And it was basically it wasn't I shouldn't say it was a blizzard, but it was snowing in October in
I don't know
Regina.
how accurate the stats are, but they only threw the ball 3 times.
Well, it was I
What?
don't know if you guys seen any of the clips or the
I've some of the
highlights,
clips.
but it was snowing pretty
I've
good there.
seen,
So
I've
Yeah.
seen
they
some
kind
of the
of
clips.
I feel
So
like made up their minds
Har-
pretty early they were going to try to run the rock.
yeah, so Peter Borsch, if I
Yeah.
mispronounced that, 18 attempts, 210 yards. Carter Ashman, 10 attempts, 205 yards. They put up
20 yards a attempt.
seven rushing touchdowns. They had 7 different rushers for 44 attempts, 632 yards. Yeah.
And that's honestly, boys, as much as St. Clair and Okanagan should probably be the favorites, do not sleep on the fucking prairies this year. Because the Canadian Bowl being in the prairies this year, those motherfuckers are gonna run the goddamn rock, and they know how to do it like the best
To
of
be
them, man.
fair, if there's
So,
a team that can like both, honestly, if it's Okanagan or St. Clair, I still will take either of those two because those two teams
for
can
sure,
also run the rock.
most definitely, I agree with you there, Shane.
I would
But
not.
having
I watched.
having experience as a player, going on the road to Saskatoon, a little bit
Oh yeah,
different
it's
than
not easy.
Regina, I know.
I went to Saskatoon and we got our ass thumped.
Yes, I did as well.
I did
So,
not play in that game because I fucked up my knee in practice.
and
But we
I've
went and we got our
experienced
ass thumped.
a Hilltops atmosphere, and similar to Regina. I know I haven't been to Regina, but I believe they play from time to time at New Mosaic. So,
They do when they play Saskatoon, but like for the Canadian Bowl, they play at Libel Field.
right, that's what their home field is called. Just yeah, going to the prairies, man, is no easy feat. I would just say that.
But
Mm-mm.
Saskatoon thumped the Edmonton Huskies, I believe.
Yeah, they beat them 31-6. Oh no, they beat the Calgary Colts 31-6, and then the Winnipeg Rifles beat the Edmonton Huskies 47-11. The PFC will see the Edmonton Huskies go to Regina, and then
And
the
get
Winnipeg
smacked.
Rifles go to Saskatoon.
That might actually be a close game though, because Winnipeg did already upset Saskatoon once this year.
Yeah,
But-
so we're 2 weeks away, or 3 weeks away technically. 3 weeks away
from the Canadian Bowl.
Yep. All right, let's jump into some CFL action. We've spent 45 minutes talking about everything else but the games last week.
That's because there's not a lot to talk about, but yeah,
There
we
really
still
isn't.
can.
The Friday night game saw the Toronto Argonauts head into Saskatchewan to face off against the Rough Riders. Rough Riders come away with a 27-19 victory.
And first in the West.
They clinch first in the West, and it looks like like we talked about last week, Blake, it looks like they're going to be starting Jake Mayer this week.
And next week, hopefully.
Hopefully. It does sound like Trevor Harris was dealing with like some sort of injury over the last.
I think they were just saying that, but
hey, he finally threw for more than one touchdown.
He threw for 2.
Threw for 2, more than one. Put up 340 yards, 2 touchdowns on 23 completions on 29 attempts. Saskatchewan locks up first. I don't think this was anywhere in the bag. I don't understand why Cole picked Toronto here. This was a wild pick for you.
That was a reach.
Was that my opposite of Blake?
No, you're opposite of Blake. We're Edmonton and Winnipeg. You picked Toronto.
I never picked Toronto, did I?
No, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think I picked Toronto.
I'm pretty sure you did.
If I was, I was.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
I picked Sask.
Oh, you did pick Sass. I don't know why I thought you picked
What
Toronto.
the shit? I was 4-0. I'm tied, baby. Let's go. The hell I'm talking about. Shane was obviously, holy smokes. That is what I'm talking about.
I definitely thought
That
you
is how
picked Toronto on
you
that
do
one.
it.
Oh no, it was
Yeah, Blake, I am coming, boy. I am tracking that ass down.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Yeah, that's pause there for
Great
sure.
podcasting right now. But,
Yes, it
yeah.
is.
So now you guys are tied.
Let's go, baby.
but
But yeah, I mean, not much to talk about. This game was it was Toronto
Yeah,
out of the playoffs.
they're
Shane,
playing out the string.
you think I'm that dumb?
I definitely thought you picked Toronto on this one.
Clearly, you think I'm that stupid. Oh my god.
Well, yes, actually, I do.
Wasn't this in Saskatchewan too? I can't remember. Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Saskatchewan.
Because this was the only game that I got to watch, and it was like kind of somewhat close.
It was
Like,
an 8-point game.
It didn't. I don't think it ever felt like Toronto was ever gonna like win the game. Saskatchewan kind of more felt like it was kind of like they were just playing with their food a little bit and then kind of pulled away. But like, sorry, who started at quarterback again for Toronto?
Dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shane.
But they
Shame
played
on
like
you.
I don't
three
know. I
different
thought for some reason I
quarterbacks.
thought you
You
picked
thought
Toronto.
I'm an
My bad.
idiot.
My bad.
Oh, Shane, you thought
Because I
I'm
was
mentally
going
retarded.
through it and I was like, oh, I was putting it in, and I think we were talking about Toronto when I was typing in your pick.
Because
Like we were talking about it.
I also did see in the week that Nick Arbuckle got shut down for the season.
Yeah,
So
and
that's also what kind of went into that as well. As I knew it was
I
Saskatchewan
believe
at
this
home.
week is their last game too, right? They have a week 21 bye.
I
Argos?
believe so.
But I knew it was in
Yeah.
Saskatchewan. I knew. Did Trevor start this and get hurt, or did Jake Mayer
No, he
start?
played.
No, he played the whole
No,
game.
he played the whole game.
Okay.
Because
But
they
Jake Mayer
had to
started-
win to clinch first.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay. But yeah, I knew it was Argo's backup quarterback, and it was
Yo.
the Argos.
Argos
Other
like
than if they play BC, like they just don't look. They look good against us. Everybody else, they.
Coach,
They look
what do you got to say about this game?
Honestly, nothing. Is Trevor played a good game. My only concern is just those little AJ's fumbling. AJ fumbled. Can't deny that. He's got to take care of the ball. Sam Emlis had a great game, and defense stepped up. Defense stepped up in a big way down the stretch, but we can't. I felt like we played to Toronto's level when we should have just beat the brakes off of them even more. So
Yeah, when you do that in the West Final, we're gonna beat that ass.
Shut the fuck up, Blake. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, just make sure you don't hit the goalpost again.
You tell him, like, that was awesome. That was the best. That was the best. Oh
Fuck
man.
Blake.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh wow, another Jays dinger. It's now 12-2.
Man, I don't want to be on here no more. Let's hurry up and get this over with, man.
It's okay, Coach.
Calgary
Toronto,
goes.
they'll
So
figure a way to show.
the Saturday afternoon game, the Calgary Stampeders roll into Hamilton. This is a game where most of us thought Hamilton was going to win.
For me. Oh
Blake
no, I
took
picked Hamilton. Sorry.
Yeah, Blake
I
took Hamilton. Cole took Calgary
And-
because Blake took
and-
Hamilton.
To be honest, I thought Blake was going Calgary. My thinking was Blake was going Calgary because it obviously loves VA. I know obviously the last few weeks haven't been ideal for Calgary, but I thought Blake would be like, okay, this is Calgary's get back. So my thinking, because I hadn't asked you guys who I picked, I thought I went Hamilton before the show for sure. And then let's talk about this game first, though. But the other game's funny.
Calgary went off. I mean, VA not a great game. 16 for 23 for 257, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Dedrick Mills, though, 17 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Ludovic Choquetti? My bad.
He's a
Oh,
rookie.
the backup.
He was
Yeah,
a
I
rookie
think he is.
Yeah.
last year, Shane. That guy went
seven,
to Long Beach State or whatever.
yeah, 7 carries, 73 yards on a touchdown. Hamilton's defense showed what they were at the beginning of the year. Bo Levi did 25 out of 39 for 306, 2 touchdowns and two interceptions. Kenny
Not
Lawler
MOP
and Tim
worthy.
White with 100 yards each. Again,
I said what I said, Cole.
What were you saying?
I said Bo Levi's not MOP worthy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Why?
He might have done enough to get a nomination. He's not the league's MOP.
Who is then?
Nathan Rourke.
That's
Shut the fuck up.
wild.
That
is so homer. That is
No way.
homerism at its
If you look at the
finest.
numbers, Nathan Rourke's numbers are way better than Bo Levi's.
In less games too.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say I necessarily fully agree with
What
Blake.
do you mean
I
way
would,
better? In what way is he way better?
He's played less games.
He's played one less game. He's
So
played
if he-
16 out of
He's played 14.
17.
He's
He
played
missed
14.
3.
According to the CFL website, he's played 16 games.
He might have dressed, but he's only played 14. He missed Hamilton, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, and I believe one other. He's missed at least 2.
I would say
They have him participating in 16 games.
the suckery is real.
And we've
So
played
he missed
18.
week 3 and 4. He didn't throw any stats. Okay, so
Oh,
14.
is that a
games.
candy? Is that a candy necklace?
But that's still wild to sit here and say he's been a more outstanding player than
He
that Bo-
has.
That's
Blake,
crazy.
that is just disrespectful.
That
You know
is
Bo's
No,
gonna
it's
win.
not.
crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy.
Okay, when the nominations come out, you guys can tell me that I was right. But
You ain't
That
there.
is-
I'm confident.
who would you nominate in the West over Nathan Rourke?
Off the top of my head,
Don't
Yeah.
say Vernon Adams.
who?
No.
Don't say Vernon Adams.
Oh no, not even close. He's played himself
Exactly. So then who?
completely out of it.
I would say so.
Who?
This is my thing, which I would differ from Blake's opinion. Where if it's most valuable player, I 1,000% on the opinion of Blake, and that Nathan Rourke is the most valuable player in the CFL. Most outstanding player this year, from start to finish, has to go to Bo Levi Mitchell, because I think he's played better from start to finish rather than
Or
Nathan's kind of keep on.
He's been
wild
inflated
start,
against bad teams.
or wild thought. Give it to someone who isn't a quarterback.
But again,
Justin-
who? That's what I'm
Justin
asking.
Rankin. Justin
Who?
Rankin.
No way. I get what you're saying, Coach, but they're not going to give it to a team that misses the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not even going to.
They had a fighting chance now.
Edmonton,
A
yeah, they
fighting
can knock
chance
Still
Winnipeg.
have
is
to
much
win out and
different
get
They
than
can
in
help.
the
knock out
playoffs.
Winnipeg.
After losing to Winnipeg 13 straight times, they beat them now. What else do they need?
They need to win both games, and they need either Calgary or Winnipeg to lose both.
Okay.
And
It's
Winnipeg's
not
first-
happening. They're not going to beat the Lions. But anyways,
If the Lions have locked up a playoff spot,
no, they play them this week.
They play Friday.
And the Lions are still fighting for a home playoff game.
yeah, well,
If we didn't,
I thought
Absolutely.
they had to tie Winnipeg because they have the tiebreaker against Winnipeg.
No,
no?
they don't. No, because they tied the
When
season
did we
series
get to?
1-1, but Edmonton's win was only by 5 points. Winnipeg's was by 13. Winnipeg wins the tiebreaker.
Also, I'm just gonna straight up Keon Hatcher,
Yeah.
1,500 yards. Like, Kenny Lawler's still there at 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. Like, the idea that this has to go to a quarterback is absolutely nuts.
There needs to be a
I
comeback
know
player of the year award also in the CFL.
Oh yeah.
That would
Keon Hatcher-
definitely be Keon Hatcher.
Yeah.
But
The guy fucking popped his Achilles, came back, leading the league in CFL. And before he got hurt, he was a league leader in receiving in
Yeah.
23 or 22, I believe.
23. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
the
make
He
an
first
tore
year
his
was
ACL in the West Final that year.
he popped his Achilles.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
West Final.
Him and TJ Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make an argument that Dedrick Mills He's been the best running back all year. Like,
I called it earlier.
The idea that it has to go to a quarterback, though, is kind of wild.
Yeah, but if you're gonna say that, like
Kenny Lawler deserves it more than Bo
James
Levi.
Butler or AJ led into that conversation because they're all separated by like less than 60 yards.
Well, I mean, Diedrich's up on Butler by over 100.
Yeah, but he played last week. Butler didn't,
but realistically, like, it doesn't have to go to Bo Levi. It doesn't have to go to Nathan Work. I think if you look at because it's most outstanding, right? Like, it's not not most valuable. It's a different conversation at that point. But I don't know, Keon Hatcher at 1,500 yards or Kenny Lawler.
I don't think Bo Levi deserves it. But let's move on to the Elks and Bombers.
Sorry. Okay, so Blake took the Bombers.
Yeah.
How?
Unfreaking believable. Because this is my thought in this game. I'm like, there's not a shot in hell Blake's taking the Bombers. He's
to be fair, like Coach said, they've lost like 10 in a row. Edmonton's lost like 10 in a row against them.
He's number one Bombers hater, and he's secretly an Edmonton Elks fan. Let's be honest. He is kind of somewhat.
God, I hate Fajardo. I hate everything Fajardo stands for. Oh my God.
It's crazy to me. This guy would.
How do you lose? I don't even know how you lose this game.
That game featured one of the most insane catches ever, and they still lost.
No, you don't. Yeah, but it's also because of that fumble, that punt that got like absolutely mocked.
That was so funny.
Like,
Cordell Jackson ended up with the touchdown. Hilarious.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Seeing those two plays, oh my God.
Absolutely hilarious. But
yeah. That's when you know, like, the ball is not bouncing.
You guys want to hear a crazy stat
like,
that actually the Bombers color commentator tweeted out after the game? So the Bombers kicked the ball off to start the game.
I saw that.
And then they won the coin toss. So they had the option in the second half, and they kicked the ball off again. The Bombers, since the start of like the 2022 season, I think, have done that 21 times, which is like 18 more than any other team in the CFL. And it burned them because even though it was only a rouge, the Elks scored right before the half with the rouge, and then they scored a touchdown right after the half. But
yeah, I don't know how you lose this game if you're Winnipeg. Fajardo went 13 for 24 for 142 yards.
I'll tell you, Justin Rankin
put up 100. He had 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Justin Rankin put up 134 yards on 18 carries.
And 65 of those were on one run. And then the fumble recovery as well.
And then Brady Oliveira, 117 yards. Caleros was 22 to 34 for 202.
And nobody has to go to Princess Auto Stadium until the Grey Cup. I love it. I was mad that I lost this game on Cole, but I also wasn't at the same time.
This was just a bad game. Like, everything about this game was bad. There was outside of that Ontario.
The more I think about it, I should have gone with the Elks. The Bombers are just that bad this year. But
like, outside of that Ontario Wilson catch,
stand on it.
That this game was horrendous.
Yeah, and then last game of the week, like, do we have to talk about that? That was actually, we do. The one thing we need to talk about is Davis Alexander getting mad at the concussion spotter. Like,
that guy is a psycho, man. He does not know how to not get hit, dude. Not even just that.
But the thing was, he was mad. Like, did you see his interview after the game, Cole? So he was mad that the spotter took him out after 3 plays. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, that's literally the spotter's job. Like, dude, he saw that you clearly weren't right. So at any point, they have the option of taking you out. Like, it's not up to you. It's up to the spotter.
He runs so recklessly. It's crazy, man. He's kind of reminds me of Jackson Dart. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the clip of Jackson Dart when he's running out the sideline and he drops his head into the defender. And it's like, bro, you are an NFL quarterback. NFL linebackers will take your head off, man. Like, go down, and you already get hit enough in the pocket, especially Davis Alexander. Like, you get hit enough in the pocket, man, and then he's getting like, I'm like, holy smokes! No wonder why you're never healthy. Like, the guy's undefeated when he's healthy. It'd be a miracle if he could stay healthy.
But Shane, you're muted. But oh yeah, and the other thing we have to talk about, and I'll let Shane talk about that, is why did the Red Blacks refuse to play Tyree Adams?
I don't know. I honestly,
That's a defeated man. I'm gonna let Shane go.
Look at him! Look at him! Look at him!
Somebody clip this, please.
He should be starting this week.
But he won't.
More so because Dustin Crum has an injury than him actually starting because he should have been starting. I genuinely believe, and again, this is just my opinion on the situation, is if you sit Crum and you're like, hey, we're going to evaluate Adams and whatnot, we know what we have in you, you are basically walking him out the door at that point. If you start Crum the rest of the way, you're basically saying, like, we believe in you. We're going to give you a chance next season to be like battle with Brown. Like, we want you here. I genuinely believe that's the difference. I think it's if you put Crum in or you start Crum, you're showing him that you're committed to him, which you've been committed to since he came in as a rookie. If you start Tyree Adams the last two games, you're kind of saying that, like, hey, we know what we have in you, but we want to see what they have, like we have in these guys, because, like, you know, we need to know our depth. It can, especially for a quarterback of Crum's ability, and given the state of the quarterback world, if I'm a team like Montreal, a team like Saskatchewan, a team like BC, even Winnipeg, if he is available come that window in February or like end of January, I am 100% calling him and being like, hey, I want you to come in and be QB2, battle for QB1. You know, you're a guy who can start. You need a solid QB2. But there's outside of that, there makes no sense for Tyree Adams not to get the last 2 weeks.
I just don't. I know you're a big Crum guy, Shane. I know, and I
the
don't.
Crum back.
Well, no, I think Shane also, like, I get it from Shane's perspective because he does make good valid points, right? Like, young player, they've also like put the investment in to develop him. So why give up on him maybe before it's, you know, maybe it clicks for him or whatever you want to say. But like what Shane's saying, right, is like they don't want to kind of maybe like ruffle feathers to see what they have in Tyree Adams. But it's like, man, is Crum worth, like, you know what you have in him already? He's a guy that is serviceable, and I do agree with Shane of, like, look at the track record of, like, Trevor Harris, Zach Collaros, that maybe they get better as they get older as CFL quarterbacks and don't completely, like, give up on the guy, but, like, he is what he is. He's not, like, a guy that I feel like you should be sitting down to, like, what if Adams is a better player and it just so happens he's on your bench, you let him walk away. I know the odds say definitely he's not. But you know what you have in Crum. He doesn't get it done on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's but the odds, like, you don't know that's the odds because you've never seen it.
But I mean, it is though, because you've seen him. They've seen him in practice, and that's kind of based on all of this stuff.
Tyree, though, is that the last 2 times he's been on the field in game action, he's gotten hurt.
He's gotten hurt.
Yeah, like the reason why why Crum started in his rookie year was because Tyree Adams got hurt and he was the backup. Like, he went into the season as the backup as QB2.
And he was balling too. That was the
he was playing great, and then he fucked up his knee. And as a mobile quarterback, they didn't want to rush him back in and, like, you know, just like they did with Mazzoli, where they took their time with him and let him kind of try to regain his strength and his confidence in his leg and whatnot. But Tyree, and then the next time Tyree came in, he got a concussion. Like, I believe it was a concussion. But the last 2 times you've seen him on a football field in a non-preseason game, he's gone and hurt.
Yeah,
he's lanky, he's skinny, he's tall. He has a good arm. he has great mobility. But we talk about Adams. You're great when you're healthy, but you just or with even with Vernon Adams, with Davis Alexander, like you're great when you're healthy, you just haven't been able to stay healthy. Tyree Adams is in the same boat.
Best availability is availability.
Exactly.
Yes.
So don't get me wrong, I love Tyree. I like watching him when he first came up. Again, he has the potential. I think what makes Crum an intriguing factor is ever since coming into the CFL, he's gotten better year over year. He's become more confident in the pocket. His throwing dynamics have become a lot better. His accuracy has improved.
Yeah, just ask the Lions. But
Like he has from when he first came into the league, and like to be fair, his first year, complete wash. He was QB4, should never have seen the field that year. Realistically, if you're coming in as QB4, there's no expectations for you to see the field. But I think with Crum is that he has really developed his passing and his ability to stay in the pocket and his ability to process and read defenses from this year to his first year. And I think as a team that you've spent 3 years developing this guy, watching him walk out the door for potentially nothing when your own quarterback that you did bring in from another team hasn't stayed healthy. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I feel
I
like
guess like I get it, Shane. Like you've seen a little bit, like little bits and pieces. At the end of the day, like in my opinion, doesn't really perform though either. Like I would say yes, he has improved in like his ability to stand in the pocket a little bit longer, opposed to like that first year where it was truly one read and he was just taking off. Where now he has shown a little bit more patience. He is a little bit more accurate, but like I don't know. It hasn't been like that much. That like if you guys go Drew Brown and Dustin Crum as your quarterback room next year, like is that what you want? Like I would imagine Drew Brown and like and I know it's like from the options elsewhere, it's not really great. You're not really picking from a whole lot, but like you've seen what like this story, bro. Like you wouldn't want to do that
here's the
again,
thing
would
though,
you?
is that like I look at it as much as like Cody Fajardo. He was the third string in Toronto, became the third string in BC, and then Saskatchewan took a chance and made him the starter.
But maybe that's what Crum needs, unfortunately. Just for
Maybe
Ottawa,
maybe he
maybe
does
that's
need to leave. Maybe he wants to leave. I don't know. That's a different conversation. Maybe he does need to leave and develop under a different coach and under a different system. That's a different conversation. I'm all ears. I don't think he's back next year. I personally don't think
we'll see.
he'll be back in 2026. I think they're going to go a different direction because I think he will want to test the market because there will be a team, and I think Saskatchewan's probably on the top of that list that will look at him as someone who can bridge, like who can be the next thing.
Yeah.
Just like how Caleros left Toronto and went to Ottawa and backed up Henry Burris for a year and then took over the following year from 16 to 17. I think there could be a similar situation in either Winnipeg if they don't have an answer around Oguzma, because they're not just going to sit around. Like Winnipeg's not going to go with Caleros and Strubler next year. They can't.
I don't think Claros is back next year in Winnipeg, but
Neither do I. But I'm just saying, like you can't run it back with that quarterback room.
no.
So if you're Dustin Crum, maybe you go to Winnipeg. Even if you have to sit behind Claros for a year because he has 1 year left on his contract, you sit behind Claros, you get comfortable with the offense, and you start in 2027. Or you go to
Sorry, Shane. How does injury related retirements work? Like, if Zach Claros says he wants to retire because like his concussion history or whatever, can he give?
He would basically end up on the 6th game. You can't
You can't.
So he
You
wouldn't
can
get
like give
paid.
back.
You can retire. Your contract is like basically. My understanding is that if you retire at any point under contract, your contract is basically put on hold. So if you were to unretire, your contract would restart. So like for example, like if for Ottawa, Dante Bull and Kunde Adeleke retired this past training camp. If they were to unretire, Ottawa would then have them under contract based off the contract they signed. They were under for 2025. They would be under for 2026. So if he were to retire for a year, and then let's say, oh, I'm going to come back in 2027, he would be under contract for what he would have been for 2026 and 2027. Is my understanding of how that works. So
Should we move on to this week? Because we're already at an hour and 15.
yeah.
Not much to talk about this week either, but
No, starting in Winnipeg, Saskatchewan heading into Winnipeg.
well, Saskatchewan's backups are heading to Winnipeg.
Yes. Just before we get into it, the record again, Cole went 4-0. Coach went 3-1. Blake and myself went 2-2. Cole and Blake are 45-28, and myself and Coach are 39-34. So
it's truly just me and Blake. Let's go.
So very tight to the end of the year. The first game is Saskatchewan Winnipeg. I'm gonna go Saskatchewan on this one.
What?
Even here's the thing: I don't like Winnipeg. I don't think Winnipeg is good. I think
Saskatchewan's sending basically their entire second string.
Yes, and realistically, everyone on their second team has a reason to win because they're not just playing for jobs for Saskatchewan. They are literally playing for jobs come free agency. So you're going to go out there and ball out for any chance you have. So yeah, I think Saskatchewan. And again, I think Saskatchewan wants to end the season on a high note. And a win against Winnipeg would be, if it was like if it was Saskatchewan versus like Toronto, or Saskatchewan versus Ottawa, or even like Calgary or Edmonton, I can understand. But it's against Winnipeg. No matter where you are in the depth chart, on both sides of the ball, you want to win these games. So yeah, I'm gonna take Saskatchewan on here.
I'm going
I got
Winnipeg.
Saskatchewan.
What'd you say, Coach?
I'm on Saskatchewan. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if it's cousin Jake or not. We gonna win that fucking game. Fuck all that.
I'm assuming Blake's going Winnipeg.
Yeah, I'm going Winnipeg. Like
fuck
they
Blake.
They have a lot more to play for.
Yeah.
Like they
I'm not
have to
saying
win.
trash.
They have to win to ensure their playoff spot. Like there is technically, even though it's not going to happen, but there is technically an outside shot for them to get a home playoff game. Like it would involve like three-way tiebreakers and stuff like that. But there is still technically a shot. But if they lose this game, all that's out the window and they're booking a flight to Montreal. So they know they have to win.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to win. They can hope that, BC wins.
Yes, but then they can't get a home playoff game if they lose. So.
Yeah. Playoff game's a playoff game. At this point of the season, the chances of them getting a home playoff game, slim to none.
I'm going Winnipeg as well. I think they're going to be motivated to play. And like we chatted about, right? Like 2 bounces go the opposite way. They probably win that ball game of the fumble on the punt return, the crazy catch in the end zone. I think Brady Oliveira will be able to control
the crazy catch
game.
was for them, but
was it? Sorry.
Yeah,
but the fumble that Edmonton was able to scoop and score, like sometimes when the ball's like when shit like that happens, it's like, man, that's just not our day. Like the ball ain't rolling our way, shit like that, crazy shit like that. One-offs that will never happen again of a returner fumbling the ball, getting bounced around a million times, and then another player picking up going to the end zone. So I think Winnipeg, literally everybody's out for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Harris isn't playing.
Keyshawn Johnson, like I literally saw it
their
on
entire receiving core.
I think it was Sports Cage or whatever, like posted their screenshot of the injury report.
Injury list, yeah. Injury list.
It's their whole team.
But
anyways. Game 2, Edmonton in BC, Friday night at 10:30 p.m.
I got Edmonton.
I'm going BC on this one.
Blake, you want to go Edmonton for me?
No.
Fuck Edmonton. I don't care for like. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of guys in Edmonton that I do like, but I just don't believe in Cody Fajardo. I think the Grey Cup in 23 was a fluke. I don't think it's him.
Oh God,
dude!
Hey! Fuck you! Just watch.
Like I think
He's got a Grey Cup
FYJW.
ring though, Shane.
Huh?
He has a Grey Cup ring.
Okay.
But
I think
No.
coach. I heard that Edmonton had a coach. Was that? And then 3 BCs. I'm guessing.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
Lions have to win to get that home playoff
Wait,
game.
so
and we
Ottawa
have
is BC?
I
we
am sorry to Elks fans because I would definitely rather see the Elks make the playoffs over the Blue Bombers, but we're just gonna have to turn the lights out on your season. I'm sorry.
the
Oh, my.
Elks are absolutely step bro to Nathan Rourke as well. I believe he's like,
Oh,
is
yeah.
it like 10 and
He
1,
set the
11?
Canadian record against them for most
Yeah,
passing
10 and
yards.
1, 11 and 1, whatever it is in his career.
I just
Monster games, and especially in BC when the track's clean track. Who knows if the roof will be open or not? But I would imagine the horses will be able to run. JB should be like kind of. I know he got back in the lineup last week, but I feel like he's kind of still maybe nursing a little bit of an injury. So hopefully he's able to be healthy come playoff time. So we're gonna need him. But I know Horvath's looked
Yeah, but
great
we
in
have
the last.
Xander Horvath. He's
We
sick.
have do Blake, but we can't forget about JB, man. Catching the ball in the backfield as well is gonna be huge. But I
Yeah.
would imagine BC's gonna be able to. They need to take care of business. Like this
so
is a
that
game
for
you can't.
BCs.
Yeah, separate
Sunday
coach.
afternoon, the next game, the Saturday afternoon game, Montreal is in Ottawa. Again, Montreal's fighting for that first
Montreal.
with BC or with Hamilton losing.
Technically.
With a win here, they get tied. Hamilton would need a win over Ottawa next
But
week,
it's
which is
Ottawa.
more than likely going to happen. But Montreal is still in a spot to get that first in the East. I'm assuming this is just going to be four Montreals here.
Yeah.
I'd love
Coach,
to
you
Ottawa,
got
but
Montreal as well.
I can't put the season on the line with Ottawa.
I don't blame you. Most of my losses came from Ottawa this year, so
Tough to pick with the heart. Shane, I've
just
been there a
want to
couple
say
times,
something,
buddy.
and this
Okay.
is one thing. This is one thing why I'm in favor of getting rid of the ratio or amending the ratio in any way. Is you cannot convince me at any point in this season Ottawa has dressed their best lineup at any point, given the amount of Canadian injuries they've had, where it makes almost dressing your best lineup almost impossible. I feel like it should be part of any conversation regarding the Red Blacks this year, and no one talks about it because no one wants to talk about it. But I feel like when you lose 5 starting Canadians, and your team is built around having 5 starting offensive Canadians and 3 starting defensive Canadians, and you lost all 3 of your defensive starting Canadians, and 3 or 2 of your offensive starting Canadians, it changes the entire dynamic of the team. Just want to get that off my chest because it's annoying hearing people talk about the ratio, but don't talk about the negative sides. Everyone's like, "Oh, I love the ratio. The ratio is great." Until your team gets decimated by Canadian injuries and you're not able to dress the best roster because you can't have your William Stanback starting or your Eugene Lewis starting because you don't have enough Canadians to have them as a starter.
Commissioner Stu looks like he's quick to change. I hope as well that that's one of the rule changes he makes.
I would just love to see, instead of it being like a designated American tag or a nationalized American tag, where like you count as a Canadian starter. If you're in the league for 5+ years or you're with a team for 3+ years, you just count as a general Canadian. I think it would keep, or even if it's just like 3 years, like hey, you're with the same team for 3+ years, you now count as a Canadian. We talked about roster turnover being a huge problem. That would be a good way to stop it. But and then the last game, Toronto versus Calgary in Calgary, Saturday night at 7 p.m.
Have you seen Calgary's injury list though? Like they're fighting for a home playoff game too, technically with BC. There's like it's almost as long as Saskatchewan's.
Yeah,
And they're not, unlike Saskatchewan, they're not doing it on purpose.
but they're basically guaranteed a playoff spot.
Yeah.
With a BC win, they're clinched. So
yeah.
Win or
And
like
who
win
are the
or
Argos
lose
starting at quarterback? It's not Doge, is it again?
I don't
in
think they've
Toronto, I think
announced
so.
it
Yeah,
yet.
Is it Doge?
I think so.
But I think, like last week, they played 3 different quarterbacks. I would expect them to do that again this week. Like
Yeah.
Dugan from TCU, Daggy, and whoever Horn, I think, was the third
Yeah,
guy.
Tucker
But
Horn.
so, anyways, I'm going Calgary. Like this is Toronto's last game of the year. They're out of the playoffs. They don't give a crap. Much similar to Ottawa. Like Calgary, injuries or not, I think Calgary's second stringers can beat Toronto's second and third stringers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not hanging the season series on the line of a quarterback named Doge, so I'll take the
No, that's
Stamps
fair.
too.
I'm rolling with Calgary for the dub.
So we got 4 BC, 4 Montreal, 4 Calgary, 2 Saskatchewan, and 2 Winnipeg.
No, Coach went with Edmonton.
I went with Edmonton.
Okay, so I said, do we have four BCs? And you guys said yes.
No, we said 3 BCs and Coach.
Yeah, and I didn't
Yeah,
hear that. So I asked, do we have 4 BCs? And you're like, yeah.
No.
If my phone dies, man, y'all got my picks, so we're good.
yeah, that's the most important.
So,
Coach,
okay,
get a win
so,
on Friday.
all right.
Man, I'm hoping, brother.
Good luck this week.
Is it almost playoffs, Coach? Must be almost playoffs, no?
Yeah, we're almost playoffs. So we got 3 more. We have 3 more regular season games, and then they start doing the picks for the playoffs. So
Yeah, we're the same way. We won
And
our
you guys
first
starting to
conference.
get playoff weather starting to hit down there? You starting to get the rain and all that stuff?
bruh, it was a damn monsoon on Friday.
Coach, you got it. That beautiful
Run
West
the
Coast, baby.
ball.
Bro, I was out there dying. I got a cold and everything.
Oh yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah,
Is
it
that why
ain't
you've been
fun
so
being
quiet
a coach
tonight?
in that stuff. It ain't fun.
But it was so much fun coaching in that game. I mean, water flying everywhere.
Rain games are honestly the funnest. But Cole, you're
Yeah,
up.
I think
You're
it's
off
snow
to
yesterday,
Kelowna
dude.
this week, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I wasn't able to make it down to Langford, so we'll see what happens for Kelowna. I'm gonna try to speak this into existence. If I don't make it up to Kelowna this weekend, I'm going for the National Assembly one St. Clair or London, whoever comes out
Hamilton.
from the OC. Because that'll be a cool game to watch. I really want to check out St. Clair in person and be able to get
Yeah, St. Clair's
glimpse of-
nasty.
Yeah, I want to see their quarterback. Their quarterback looks like a pretty
Hamilton
good,
pull off the upset.
pretty good
First
quarterback.
I made a
thing,
bold prediction last week and it didn't come true. I'm gonna make
It ain't
another one
bold if it
though.
didn't come true.
Well, no, it was bold at the time because I said PG was gonna beat West Shore, but I'm gonna say that
See
the
West Shore win?
Winnipeg Rifles for the
Oh,
second time this season upset the Saskatoon Hilltops.
Mm.
They have the
What would
QB
that
to
mean
do it.
for playoff seeding in the PFC? Would that mean Winnipeg jumps them or no?
well, no, it's the playoffs in the PFC.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
playoffs now.
it's playoffs next week. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
so
Blake, that would be
I think
wild.
Coach's phone
faces
just.
out. Were you not paying attention when I was going through the team, like the games?
Dude, the weeks being not the same is the most retarded thing to me in the world.
No,
Well,
it's
Why?
because of the
no,
Canadian Bowl being
it's
in
because
the
the Canadian
PFC.
Bowl.
No, I understand that.
Well, then
I
what?
fucking played in the league, you guys. So I
Same.
get that.
So
But why not fucking have a fourth? I hate the odds of everything.
Yeah,
Of 7
create a
teams in the
Quebec
conference.
League. We've already been through this.
it's because the
It
Quebec League
makes
doesn't
things
want to change their.
so much harder, especially with teams not starting at the same time, teams not ending the regular season on time. It's just everything's
It's
so
because the
back-assed. I've said
Quebec
that
League.
for years as well.
It's because the Quebec League does not want to change their age limit, and the CJFL doesn't
Which
want
is
to change their limit.
24, I believe, is it not?
Yeah.
In the Quebec League is 24. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
and
great
the
league. I've
CFL
played
is
in it.
22, 21.
CJFL is 22.
22.
Yeah.
So basically, like for being in Ottawa, it was great because you could theoretically either play in the Quebec League from 18 till 24, or you would go the CJFL route from 20 or 18, actually 17, because OFC is a little special. From 17 to, at least when I was playing, was 17 to 22, and then for your
And then
23
go play
24
OUA.
season, if you weren't going to school, you'd go play for the Quebec League, and then you would
So
play.
how does that work? Like, if you graduate junior, do you have to transfer into like lower AA or Western or wherever
So
to play
are you talking
towards
about
fall?
eligibility?
Yeah.
So you basically can get 7 years of junior and U sports,
Yeah.
whether it's I'm not too sure if it'll work
Yeah, yeah,
out
but
that
I'm
way
saying like
of
you have to go to school to be
Yeah, so if
yes,
eligible
you
to
yes,
play.
age out of
yes.
CFL, you go to school,
Oh.
and generally, which is why you generally see guys at like 21, 22, they'll go because they have until 24, right? So you'll have
Yeah.
your age 22, your age 23, and your age 24 season, and you're probably playing your 18, 19, 20, and 21 season playing in CJ. Like if you're not, from my experience and from the guys I've played with, if you're not in U Sports by age 22, you're more than likely not. Uh, you're not getting into U Sports at that time. Like if you're not in a U Sports team and on a team and getting reps at 22, you're not going U Sports.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
would disagree with that slightly. There's a lot of 22-year-olds that leave the BCFC to go to U Sports. It's obviously maybe not, I shouldn't say a lot, but I would say out of the recruiting classes of like obviously Kamloops, Langley, this will be interesting. Even Langley in a sense might even have. So I would say like 5 of the 7 teams confidently will have like one U Sports starter go to one starter go to U
But is
Sports
it
in that
like
class.
they're going
Yeah,
for their age
Langley. I've talked
22
to a few
year,
coaches in
or are
Langley,
they
and
What's that?
going
they're
like are they going for their age 22 year, or are they going for their age
Like
23?
this is like so they've just played their fifth and final year in the BCFC. Like they're 22, and like I know of like probably already 3 Raiders that are going U Sports.
Yeah,
Probably will be they'll
that's what I'm
be
saying. Like if
they'll be
you're not,
they'll be competing for starters. I'm not too sure if they'll start. I would say at least one of
you're
them will
definitely
like be
starting to
like
see a change
a guy
now.
that's
But
like a game day guy, but it happens more probably out west than out east probably is
probably because yeah,
the
in Ontario, from my experience, at least like from the Ottawa area and like being within the CGFL, is if you're not being picked up at 22, at like
yeah,
at the
that's
end of
fair.
your age 22 season, you're generally not like if you go into the Quebec League at age 23, you're more than likely not going anywhere outside of
and
it.
and that's a little bit what like so Toba Coach Doby, I know because it's different regime, I got to remember that now. But Coach Doby having experience of like him coming out to recruit guys on VI when I was on VI, he was looking specifically for 22-year-olds that were mature guys that would like come in and transition easier than say a
Yeah.
19, 20-year-old that they're still a little bit immature and stuff like that. Guys that have worked, can balance kind of things like that. They know how to time manage a little bit better. And then like when we were doing like the Can West previews last year, when I was talking with Coach McConkey, he said same thing of like in their program they kind of have their like young guys that they're looking to develop in the program already. So they're really looking for like guys that can come in and like like get those spots like right away, and they're not kind of like waiting for them to develop, opposed to the guys that they have like in their pipeline, they're kind of more so to develop. But obviously it kind of like it changes from conference to conference here, right? From like the pool you're picking from, all the guys that you want, like and like program to program it changes too, right? Some teams are looking for like those younger type of players to like get into their pipeline, develop a little bit more. They're they're in their timeline, like they're not win now, right? Maybe some guys are like, it's a long term, like York, right? For example, York took
Yep.
not as many like older 22-year-old CJFL guys. They took like the 19, 20-year-olds, a lot of those guys that like could develop into something hopefully down the road for Dexter Yankee, guys that like understood his like culture and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Matthew Gannett. I think there's from what I've heard, I don't know how accurate it is that he's expected to go U Sports. He's finishing up his age 22 season.
The
Um,
St. Clair quarterback?
yeah, he's
Yeah.
an '03 born, so uh, he just I believe turned 22.
He was the
Uh,
starter on last year's team too, right?
No, he
yeah,
wasn't.
was he not? I thought
No,
he was.
they had Soja last year.
Oh, but
Oh,
didn't
it
he
was
transfer to U Sports?
Soja?
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if it was U Sports or I don't remember if it was like junior college. I want to say it was junior college. I don't think it was U Sports.
but he's on. He's
Oh,
been on the team
interesting.
for 4 years, and like
Yeah.
yeah,
He played like he
he
got
was he
significant
was a
amount of playing time
starter.
last year as well.
I thought he was a starter in 23, and then I thought he got hurt, and then led to Scuja
I'm
going
not
in.
I'm not too I'm not too sure the full story on that of what happened there. I just know that Soja ended up coming in at some point and maybe,
Yeah, and
off
led them
season
to the
injury
Canadian Bowl, but
and they kind of realized that they had a roster good enough to win, so they went out to look for a good quarterback like that, and that's just kind of what happened. But I know that Soja was their starter last year, and then I didn't know where he went to where he transferred out to. It wasn't anywhere in the CFL either. So
Anyways, gentlemen, coach's phone has already died. We've made our picks, so should we get out of here for another week?
Yeah, I'm
Shane,
just pulling up the-
quick question before we get out of here. You watch Inside the NHL yet?
No,
No, I figured you would have with Brady Tkachuk being in the.
I haven't really had much time to watch it.
But the
look
Mariners
it up.
just hit back to back as well, but it's still 12-4 Jays bottom 8, so they're still firmly in control.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long that lasts. It's two.
Raleigh and Arozarena, so I'm not too upset about it. But
Follow us on our social media platforms. Like, comment,
yeah.
subscribe, all that good stuff.
Mine's in the bio.
We're killing it right now on Instagram, fellas.
he was
Over
American. I
a
didn't
million
realize
views. Over 1.2 actually, I believe. Well, even
I saw that. Yeah, the wasn't it? Didn't you tweet out that the CFF page had like 1,000 views in 30 days or something, or a million views or
we had
something?
a million in 30 days.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
that's
guys can see
crazy.
that. Oh,
No, we can't. But good
No,
job.
that's it. But
Yeah, I
anyways,
can't find
fellas,
anything. But he's American, so that's interesting.
Matt
No, Soja.
Soja. See, that's why I thought he went. I think he went JUCO, or not
he
JUCO.
might
Maybe
have.
like Div 3.
I don't know. I can't find anything about him. Everything when I look up his name, he just comes up with St. Clair. Here's a grad class.
He might just not be playing as well. That's kind of the downside of junior, because you are right in a sense, Shane, that probably say 75% of the 22-year-olds will just never play football again, right? Because they kind of they just even like my best friend, my good buddy, who was my receiver 2019 season, was a CJFL All Canadian that 2019 year. Was recruited by University of Manitoba. Was recruited by University of British Columbia. Like was recruited by a lot of the Canada West schools. Recruited by St. FX as well. But that was also the COVID year, so kind of just naturally he ended up retiring. But
Yeah.
I mean,
with those
COVID
opportunities.
took up my
COVID
last
screwed
2 years
everything up, but
of the Quebec League, which annoyed me, but can't do much about it.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I think he, from what I can find, is that he's actually still at St. Clair. He's finishing up a degree at St. Clair College.
so he's just not playing football.
Yeah, because I think he's an 02, so he would have been 23 this year.
Yeah.
So
He's probably not playing football.
yeah.
That's what sorry, last rant before we get out of here, because I know Blake does want to get out of here, but that is why there needs to be a bigger age limit, because guys like that are so skilled and talented, and you get to 22 and then there's nothing for you. It's like shit, man.
Give him a couple extra years of film as well for CFL scouts, stuff like that.
Alberta Football League.
What you should do is also have, if you really want to do what U Sports does, where if you play a certain amount of years in U Sports, you can enter the CFL draft as a Canadian.
Yeah.
Right. If you integrate that into the CJFL, move their draft. Like, I think the CJFL needs to be a complete counterpart to U Sports. You need to move your age limit up to 24. Bring in the Quebec League. And then you can start having guys from the States come up, because if they play, I think it's 3 years in U Sports or something like that. I think it's 3. Yeah, I think it's 3 years of U Sports. You then qualify as a Canadian. Why don't have the same thing for CJFL?
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. But
That's already happened big time out west, so for sure. The Raiders have been utilizing that like their import spots. So like the guy I mentioned to you guys last week about kind of like the intel I was getting, his son is a receiver on the Raiders, and he kind of came up here to like essentially get an opportunity to go U Sports because he knew he wasn't good enough to like go to UFL or whatever NFL, and wants to kind of try to get into the CFL that way of coming up here, getting into U Sports, and then being eligible to get into the CFL draft that way, opposed to him having to be like a free agent.
Yeah, it works. We've seen it. There was a guy last year's draft who did it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Devin?
Versek?
Versek?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I thought he came in. No,
I think Versek was a natural Canadian, but
Yeah.
you're talking about the Bombers first round pick from Wyoming.
no, because he played U Sports.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about then.
I think it was like a Windsor player who
Might have been the D lineman. I cannot wait to get into U Sports draft content. I've
I'm
fallen
so
really out of U
excited.
Sports this year.
Because I think I can't remember who it was, but it was a
Blake's
guy
trying
who
to go
played. Oh, wasn't it Mulderdorfer?
Max Van Mildorfer? I don't think so. I think he was Canadian too. I think he's
no,
actual Canadian.
he was European, wasn't he?
No, I believe because I spoke with Max. I believe he's natural Canadian.
Yeah, he was born in Calgary.
Yeah, we did the
I thought it might have been
prospects to watch on Max. Anyways, Blake, how cool is it that we got to see Giovanni Manu and Theo Benedette,
Oh
two
yeah, and they're both
U
starting in the
Sports
NFL.
starting NFL tackles, and Blake and I
Yeah,
were able to catch a couple of games that year. That was
we
sick,
were.
man.
Yeah, that was
I
very
got
cool.
to go see one more actually that year too. I don't think you made
Lost
it to
in the
the one.
Vanier final, unfortunately.
Yeah, the one that they played St. FX in the semifinal. But man,
Yeah.
is that cool? I don't think we'll ever see that again of two U
Probably
Sports
not.
starting tackles and they get into the NFL and they start in the NFL too.
Didn't he get hurt? Is it Manu hurt?
Manny might be here, but Theo's out there
Theo just played
blocking
on Monday night.
Yeah.
Max
I think-
Crosby.
I think Manu got hurt during his first start. Man,
Did
I
he?
love seeing it. I think it's great for both of them to play at left tackle. Because wasn't Manu
Well,
also?
Theo's had to play both. Theo had to play both. He started at left tackle. There was an injury to the right tackle. He had to go play right tackle against Vegas in that game. That was he just posted a picture on Instagram where he's blocking Max Crosby because he had to go to the right side. It was like
But then
so I watched
wasn't
a little bit of that
Manu
game
also
and
starting
then
at
stopped
left,
watching.
or was he
What's
left
that?
guard? Manu, didn't he start at left tackle?
I
Or was
can't
it left
remember.
guard?
I can't remember. Manu. I kind of been paying more attention to Theo a little bit.
So either way, it's great. The amount of
Yeah.
Canadians in the NFL right now, and like those two are going undrafted. So, but yeah, we're
Very
almost into draft time. Well, actually, we're almost into free agency, and then into draft time.
Still got a Grey Cup to be won first, though.
That is true. But for myself and Cole, who free agency and draft are content galore, and I wish it was easier to find stuff.
Oh, Shane, let's not have that headache yet. Let's save that for down the road.
Yes, that's for sure. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. For everyone who's watched, thank you, Coach, for joining us. I know you had to split because your phone died, and you were clearly tired because
he was also
stressful getting
eating in the
ready.
car, but
He was eating in the car.
I think he just used that as an excuse and then just exited. But
Probably. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to hit share, like, subscribe, put on your notifications so you never miss a show. We've only got a couple of them left, but like 5, I would think, 5 or 6 left.
yeah, we'll probably do a Grey Cup recap, and then that'll kind of be it for the year. So
yeah, until probably we'll take December off and maybe do some free agency stuff in January and then draft stuff in March. And before you know it, we'll be talking about 2026 free training camps. So thank you all for tuning in. Remember, we'll catch you here next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Hit us. Make sure you're here for the playoffs because it'll be fun. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week.